Blake here with Trade Tracer. In this video, I'm going to get you prepared for the week ahead, give you some of my favorite trade setups, and talk about some of our commonly used terms that I want to go over. As always, none of this is financial advice. Always trade and invest at your own risk. So, what do we have on deck this week? We are in a 5-day downtrend. We have an election this week. We have non-farm payrolls this week. So, lots of uncertainty in the market. No surprise we're in a downtrend. And next week is the week before OPEX, where oftentimes we see pivotal lows put in that week. So we'll have plenty of opportunities to get long this market. I have been sitting cash since October 19th, since we entered no trend. Okay, so discipline and patience will pay. As equity prices fall, buying power increases. Cash is a position. I have been taking very limited, smaller sized 5-minute day trades on NASDAQ futures. And other than that, I'm waiting to get long this market once we hit uptrend. When that happens, I don't know. Quite honestly, I don't care. I just know that when we get into uptrend, we have to get long as per our rules to trade. Speaking of rules to trade, let's go ahead and talk about rules to trade and exactly what they are. So rules to trade is a system that I've developed over the course of 10 years, and this is my go-to. This is my go-to strategy in swing positions and in day trades. This isn't the only trade setup that we take. We do buy pullbacks to support, but this is my bread and butter. This is what makes me money. And so we're going to go over what RT means. RT is short. It stands for rules to trade. So a lot of the times in the Telegram, you'll see me type out RT. It simply means rules to trade. So, and I have on here the 5-minute RT, daily and weekly RT. Sorry, this why I got cut off here, but let's go ahead and give you an example of what RT is. All right, so in order to do that, we need a couple different indicators. The first one being the 10 simple moving average. Okay, so got to have the 10 SMA up there. And the next one is the MACD. Okay, this is a very simple system, but it works. This is a system that I've developed, like I said, over the course of 10 years, and it's something that's simple, okay? You get too many indicators going on here. You get too many, signs that will give you signals, and you're going to have analysis paralysis. The simpler you can make the system, the better. All right, so RT, rules to trade. What do we need? We need on a daily time frame, we need a candle to close above the 10 SMA. Okay, so in order to get long, we need price to close above the 10 SMA, and we need MACD curling in our favor. We don't necessarily need the MACD cross. Okay, that's later on price strength confirmation. We'll get into that later. But rules to trade long is simply this: price closes above the 10 SMA, and MACD heading in your favor. If you can't figure out which way the MACD is heading, look at the MACD histogram. If these bars are getting lighter and lighter and heading more towards the zero line, you know that MACD is heading that direction. Once we have the MACD histogram crossover, that's where momentum really gets on your side and odds of the trade are heavily in your favor after that. Okay, so RT, rules to trade, price above the 10 SMA, MACD heading in your favor. All right, so we've cleared that up. Now that happens on the daily time frame for our swing long positions and on the 5-minute chart. Okay, so the 5-minute chart, this is what I use for my day trades. And you can see, well, one of the things that we have right here is price above the 10 SMA on that candle. You can see MACD crossed. All right, and we also broke above a downtrend. I love when we break above downtrends. You can see broke above this downtrend here. So this is one of my favorite go-to setups: break above a downtrend, price close above 10 SMA, and a MACD cross. You can see what happened after that. Now, our system requires us to get in early in the trend, which means if you have, 4 contracts, you get on early in the trend, and when price starts to move in your favor, you start to scale. Okay, so you'll sell half, sell a quarter, and then you'll move your stop up as you go into the trade. So you're not just blindly having a stop down here after you've already scaled some profits, okay? Once the trade works in your favor, don't let it go against you. Okay, same thing works on the short side, right? So we see a MACD bearish cross right here, okay? The MACD bear cross right there. and we can see a break above an uptrend line. We actually took this trade on Friday. So there's your uptrend line, break above that uptrend line, price close below the 10 SMA. Place your stop at the recent pivot high right here. Simple stuff. Price never came in violated, and you had a massive, massive trade right here on SPY. Okay, price below 10 SMA, MACD cross lower, and that's one of our beautiful trades. If you remember, on Friday I said, hey, we're setting up here for a potential run into the close. Why did I say that? Well, because we had double bottom, right here, double bottom, this one, and right here. So double bottom with MACD heading up and price starting to close above 10 SMA, and that's exactly what happened into the close. We ran into the close. Okay, so that's RT. RT is price above the 10 SMA on the long side, obviously. Price above the 10 SMA. Example, price above the 10 SMA. MACD heading in your favor. And ideally, we would like to see a break above a downtrend. We don't necessarily need a break of a downtrend, but it does always help. All right, so that's RT on the 5-minute. On the daily time frame, same rules apply. You just need a daily close above the 10 SMA. When this candle closed right here, we went into no trend. All right, so we're going to get into that here in a little bit. But before, let's make sure that we've wrapped this up. Price strength and price weakness confirmation. You'll hear me say PSC or PWC. These are very, very important terms to know if you want to take advantage of the odds that this represents. What this means is that price has confirmed either lower or higher. That's essentially all it means. So, price weakness confirmation. First, we have to go into no trend for price weakness confirmation. So, to give you an example here, this was a nice uptrend that we had, right? And then what happened? We broke above an uptrend line, right? And we had price close below the 10 SMA. When this happens, we entered no trend. Now, in order to go into a downtrend, we need price to close below this candle's low that entered into no trend. And you can see we had 5 days or 4 days of no trend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of no trend. We didn't enter a downtrend until we actually closed below that level. So you'll see me call out key levels in our Telegram channel. And oftentimes those levels are pivotal lows, pivotal highs, levels that I've identified that will put the odds in your favor if we're trading on the correct side of it. So right here, this low, we entered downtrend on the 26th. And I said, hey, downtrend, we're going to be looking for the short side. We're going to be looking for the downside because odds favor lower prices, because we just went from no trend to downtrend with price weakness confirmation. That's what price weakness confirmation is. Price weakness confirmation is when price confirms that the trend is lower. And the way that we know that is from the candle that went into no trend. Well, once it closes below that, we entered downtrend, and that's price weakness confirmation. And you can see what happened after that. Okay, so that's downtrend, price weakness confirmation. Price strength confirmation is exactly the opposite. Okay, so on the upside is price strength confirmation. So if we get into, for example, we'll go through this previous uptrend right here. Price above 10 SMA. Boom. You got rules to get long, rules to trade. We have a candle close above that high. We enter uptrend. Okay, so now this candle, we entered uptrend. Now, once we have that MACD cross, we have odds even more heavily in our favor. And we don't get price strength confirmation until we break above a previous pivot high. Okay, so this above this 323.41, this was price strength confirmation. And if you guys were with us earlier this year, back in July, we had a phenomenal trade. I said I would double up my long exposure if we get above this candle here. And that's exactly what happened. We had a very awesome uptrend. Okay, so just to wrap up, we have price strength confirmation, price weakness confirmation, and how we get there. Now we have to define trend, uptrend, downtrend, and no trend. All of this is trading, understanding what direction the market is heading and trying to trade in the same direction of the market. It's very simple. If the market is uptrending, we want to be going long, right? I don't want to try to short anything if the flow of the river, if the flow of the market is moving equities higher. Same with downtrend. If the odds favor lower prices, just like they are right now, what are we doing? We're looking for the short side. I said on Friday, hey, this gap could get filled, but I'm not really interested in the long side. I'm more interested in shorts today. What happened Thursday and Friday? We got paid going short. Okay. Now, no trend, downtrend, and uptrend, we're going to define those right now. So if I zoom out here, once we close above 10 SMA on the daily time frame, we entered no trend. We close above that candle's high. We get above this level here. This is uptrend. We entered uptrend. We don't violate uptrend until we break a below and close below the 10 SMA. So this was a little sloppy. We went into no trend, but quickly recovered, went back into uptrend. Okay, so to go into a downtrend, it's the exact opposite, right? So downtrend is a close below the 10 SMA and price closing below that. To go into no trend, we just have to have a close below the 10 SMA, but nothing closing below that candle's low like we had here. This was 5 days of no trend until we finally closed below that candle's low. So that's what we've done. That's the system that we utilize. We utilize RT, rules to trade. It's a very simple system. We utilize price weakness and price strength confirmation, puts the odds in your favor, lets you know that, hey, price is telling you that, the odds are more in this favor. Either price strength higher, price weakness lower. And then finally, we have to trade with the trend. The way we define trend is by price and moving averages. Obviously, uptrend, downtrend, and no trend. Uptrends is where we make our money. It's where the easy money is made. No trends and downtrends is where most people lose money, which is why I preach going to cash. When we go to no trend and downtrend, cash is going to be the favorite position that we should be in. All right, so now that we've got all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the markets. So, a couple things I want to show you here is the daily versus the weekly time frame. Sorry, let me pull this up here. Not like that. I want them like that. Okay. So we have the daily on the left, and on the right, we're going to have the weekly chart. Now, you guys know that I don't like the way that this is setting up. The reason I don't like the way that this is setting up is because we are closing below that 10 SMA on the weekly time frame. This is no trend, right? If we close below this low, that's going to be a price weakness confirmation, and we likely head lower. So that's this pivot low right here. Now, oftentimes we'll dip below it, and it'll trap shorts, and we'll rip back higher. Doesn't matter, because either way, we're going to have rules to get long, right? We need this 10 SMA to keep coming down here, and once price gets above that 10 SMA on the daily, that's when we go ahead and get long. Right now, in this weekly time frame, things don't look great. On the SPY, we've got a fresh MACD bearish crossover, and if we go to the NASDAQ, the Qs, which is what I really love to trade, you can see we've already had this MACD cross from back in September, right? This MACD cross back on this candle here. Right, so we already have a MACD cross and moving lower on the NASDAQ, something that's been a leader. Obviously, we don't want to see something like this lead the way back down. If it does, I will likely go ahead and increase my short market exposure. So we're going to have to be keeping a very close eye on this. Now, I bring this up just to urge caution. This is why we are 50% cash in the investment portfolio, because we've had a phenomenal year. We have massive year-to-date gains. And personally, I'm not willing to let my returns dwindle when we have so much uncertainty going on in the market. I say this, but we need to keep an open mind. Like I just started this video, we have tons of uncertainty. We got an election, not even to mention a stimulus bill that I didn't even bring up. So lots and lots of uncertainty. This market can turn on a dime, so we need to keep an open mind. Don't get too bearish. Don't get too bullish. Trade price. Right now, price is telling us that odds favor lower, and we've been making money on the downside. So until that changes, I'm going to be looking for the shorts. And once we get price above the 10 SMA, I'm going to flip my thesis and go long. But until that, we have to play defense. All right? We just have to play defense. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these two charts here and talk about some equities, some plays that we've had. Tesla, which was one of my favorite stocks to trade this year, is now looking like it wants to start to trade lower. All right, so what do we have here? Here's a break of an uptrend line. We have price below the 10 SMA, and we have a price weakness confirmation below a 50-day moving average. And if you're not too familiar with 50-day moving averages, they are very important to moving averages. This is a bear flag below a 50-day moving average. All right, so on our playbook, we had, hey, below 407.38. I pointed this out to members. Below this level, we have rules to trade short. All right, so we're already, almost $20 here on the downside just on this Tesla trade. So Tesla looks like it wants even lower. Would not be too excited to be getting long this market right now. Tesla needs to get back above that 50 MA for me to get excited. And first, obviously, below the 10 SMA because it's below the 50. So Tesla doesn't look great. Apple also does not look great. You can see it's breaking this longer-term uptrend line, and we do have a nice gap from earnings to fill right in here. So here's this gap level, and this is pretty much my target. I do think we probably see this 100 level again, and that's kind of the level that I'm targeting, is that 100 level where we'll probably see buyers again. But maybe we'll come back and fill this gap. Right now, this does not look bullish at all. Amazon as well. Amazon is forming a bearish MA topping pattern. Okay, let me get rid of this so you guys can see. But here's the MA pattern on Amazon. You can see here's the M and here's the A, and we're starting to break below that A. So also not a bullish signal by any means. And once again, we pull that 50-day moving average, we're trading below that 50-day moving average. So that's also something to keep a very close eye on. We're trading below the 50-day. The MACD's moving below the zero line, and we're putting in an MA top. That's not a very bullish signal. When you have Apple showing bearish signals, you have Amazon showing bearish signals, you have Tesla showing bearish signals. It's hard to get bullish this market, right? These things have been the leaders. Heading into Monday, I'm going to reserve my favorite trade setup for my members, but hope you guys had some insights into this video. What I'm going to be doing this week is a whole lot of nothing. The only things I'll be doing is very lightly day trading some NASDAQ futures if the opportunity presents itself. Other than that, I'm sitting cash. I'm patiently waiting for price to get back above that 10 MA. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be looking for some swing short setups. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon.